Hey y'all, this is Brett, TN Living. We can do a little garden walk around. They're calling for mid-30s on Friday night, possible chance of frost, so I thought I'd show you what it looks like in case it does hit. Let's start out with the cucumbers here. Just got a couple hanging here. Got one there. Got a little one there. Several over that way. Hard to pick out, but I think they're doing pretty good for October. It was 43 this morning. Got several leaves that's wilted. A lot of it's starting to die, but not bad for keeping it this long. Got her one little cushaw squash. You see the little melon, the little squash right there. A small volunteer tomato plant. I transplanted it. It's just loaded with tomatoes. They don't get very big, but it's good. They have a good flavor. So I got a tomato in that pot. It's fell over. I got to tie it up again. A couple little peppers that never did do much. A couple more tomato plants. It's trying to grow, but we'll probably stick them in the greenhouse. Of course, I got my trees there at the end with blueberries. I got 4 blueberries, an elderberry, another pepper, goji berries, a sage. Of course, that's my turnips. A few turnip greens too. You can see a real tiny green. Well, you can actually see the little green leaves best I can tell to the camera. We sowed that with mustard greens. Finally got that row of tomatoes out. Planted it with mustard greens. Cleaned this up. It's got mustard greens and turnip greens in here where this row was. Got it all cleaned up. Of course, I let my okra go to seed. I'm letting everything grow up. But down to the inside of that, you see little tiny green leaves. I put collard greens. Probably way too many, but it's not for eating necessarily as much as it is for building the ground back up. I left me a little space to walk here. These are my bell peppers. They're still doing pretty good. Got to pick them tomorrow. There's several good sized peppers in there. Got a couple different kinds here, but these are all bells except for this one, which is the sweet pepper. It's got the long peppers to it. Actually got one of them, it's red, or turning red. Got a couple bell peppers over there. They got several on them. You can see the peppers hanging on that one. I was hoping to get some color out of them, let them hang till they change color, but I better pick them before Friday. My bow tie peppers. I gave a brother at church some of them the other day. Or jalapenos. They're still growing. Not doing bad. You can see peppers in there. They're not loaded like they was before, but there's several jalapenos still in here. Of course, I got my other little volunteers. I'm hoping the atomic tomatoes are the Brad's Atomic. There's one of them and they're growing. It's got 3-4 tomatoes on it. Hoping they'll be good enough to ripen. They're pretty close. Supposed to have a little bit of a brighter color to them. And I'm hoping they'll be ripe enough I can take them in the house. This little patch where I had potatoes, that's kale. I just put a streak of kale in the middle of all this. Of course, I got my tomato patch. Another row of tomatoes here. They're still doing really good. But I'm probably gonna have to cover them. I'm not picking them. Of course, these are my first turnip greens and mustard greens I planted. for a cover crop. My lemon starburst, they're getting ripe. I'll finally have one. These are the butter peas, speckled butter peas. I picked some the other day and I cooked about 2 quarts. I didn't get to can them. I got to freeze 1 quart because I ate the other one. But they're really good to me. I really like them. I just got done with this today, tearing it up with the tiller. It's been sowed with mustard greens. So I've got a mix of mustard greens, turnips, kale, collard greens. Are be good ground cover and are to replenish the soil really well. That's where the sweet potatoes was. It's had a little bit of turnip green seed in it. My carrot bed, I had onions that didn't come up to now. It's got, I don't know, half a dozen onions probably growing in it now. I haven't got the strawberries transferred yet, but I hope to before too long. There's one of our pawpaws we added. Ain't much to see there, it's just a few leaves. They're all starting to turn and fall off. That's my other pawpaw tree, the one I've had for 2 or 3 years. It's hard to keep something from eating on it, or eating the leaves, eating the small sapling. I had something chew it down last year. Of course, this is a pawpaw, but the leaves just turned and fell off of it. Oh, you can see the stick in there. Leaves are falling off. This is our garlic bed we planted. I planted around 100. I found 5 or 6 that didn't spots where I think there should have been garlic or enough space for garlic. They didn't come up, so I put 5 or 6 more in it. So, you know, say that was 95 come up out of the 100. That was still a pretty good percentage. 95% works well. Now this is our stick beans or pole beans. They're looking mighty thin, but they still got beans on them. I picked beans 2 days ago. I'm thinking to pick beans again tomorrow. If they get big enough, I should have enough to make a mess. I'll be able to eat beans. Ain't enough to freeze or can, but like a good meal. Well, I've had a few people ask about the onions we planted. So there's our halfway mark. As you can see, they're starting to come up. We got little green onions several places. Not every one of them's made it, but so far, but there's a bunch of them it has. We've had the majority of them, I'd say, come up. So apparently you can store onions in the bottom of a refrigerator for a few months to get them from springtime to fall. You can't find a place that's got them. Store you some up. Well, let's see, that's the majority of the garden, I guess. Built this new compost bin. We're trying to hide our compost. We got 4 piles going now. It's been such a horrible year on grass. We've pulled grass and piled it up, and we need places to put it. We still got stuff growing. We're still eating. Hope you enjoyed the tour. Have a good rest of the week.